letting it go on the floor. What you know? Did good, let it go, man. No, I just
Get down on the floor. On the floor. Make them get down on the floor.
Achato?
Like a pill.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. Saucy and Friends in the morning. We are here. It is time. It is 9 o'clock past the hour.
9 o'clock past the hour.
What is it? How you say it?
17 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour.
Oh.
17 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour.
Is that, I always wanted to be like the time girl. Yes. Speaking of, how many of y'all phones is working today?
Why?
Have you been hearing about it?
AT&T?
No, AT&T, Verizon. I'm lying. Let me tell you right now. Oh, Jesus. Technical difficulties are being explored here.
Did y'all hear my movie scream?
What was it? Oh. Jesus Lord. Before we get into this top story of the day, Miss Tony, how you doing? Tell us a little bit about your life. Quick check-in.
Be fine. I am good.
I saw you on your little virtual doctor's appointment today. What
I
they
was
said?
in my virtual doctor's appointment. It went very well. Good suggestions for a lot of things. My doctor loves me and she wants to see me do well. And so I'm good. Yesterday, I started back therapy.
Oh my God, how was it?
Back.
Tell me everything.
It was so good. And she's really proud of me and the work that I've been doing and the work I've been trying to do. And let's continue to do the work. So whatever I need to do to help you continue to be in the place that you're at, I'm going to do that. So
First of all, that was a long ass vacation. Tell her she needs to plan better.
This is what I'm saying. It wasn't vacation though. She was doing her test for her PhD. She's a PhD candidate.
Oh, wow. She's defending her dissertation?
Yeah, so she's doing her thing, and I can't be mad at her for that. So,
that's dope.
But
good
yeah,
for her.
It's good. But yesterday was a good evening. Hung out with the fam a little bit, went home, chilled out, got into Love is Blind, which is a conundrum.
Yeah, I watched it last night as well.
The 3 episodes that were released yesterday?
Yeah, and I saw your post. Chelsea's a psychopath.
She's freaking unhinged.
Yeah, I don't believe that you should be on a dating show if you are that insecure.
They don't give you a mental health screening before you go on that? Like, her level of insecurity is something that is different.
Yeah, I've never
anything.
I've never witnessed that before,
right.
Of like that much insecurity.
And I know that all women want to be reassured, right? Like you want that, but to beg for it the way she does, and not even beg, like demand it.
I don't even think that she needs to because of the fact that she's receiving it. I've been watching.
There. What is going on? What about the black girl, the black guy, and the white girl? What did you think about that situation?
I knew it was gonna happen.
Really?
At first, I thought that. Sorry, Tristan. If you guys were talking about Love is Blind, so if you are a watcher of that show, we've just got to have a few. We haven't spoken to each other since last night, so we got to talk right now. It made sense.
Yeah.
I didn't. For him, at first I was like, he looked like he could be, like that will work. But after like seeing him, first of all, he reminded me a lot of me. On that phone. Like, damn. Yeah. You on that phone. But really, I get it. Like, if I don't have my phone for 2 weeks and I get my phone back, believe me, I'm glued. I can't hear, I can't see nothing.
But he went cold.
Yeah, because that's not what he wanted. That's a real black ass man.
Yeah.
With braids and he's school counselor.
He's a principal at 25 years old.
Yeah,
crazy.
he needs a empress. Mm-hmm. He needs somebody who's gonna
a baddie.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he needs like a black girl. Like seriously,
she was cool though.
She was cool, but if you think about it, was it really going to work?
I don't know.
Like there's some people like you, for instance, like you might meet this whatever, blah blah blah, but you already have kind of in your mind that that's not what you want. You want to experience black love.
Oh yes,
you want to experience that. So if I do want to love people, however, I would like to experience it the black way.
Yeah.
Especially if you see in these other two black people just kind of like she's giving. They're giving.
They
it's
are
not gonna work.
They are,
but
but it's, at least they're giving it a chance.
Yeah,
there's a black love there. Yeah. And he's speaking of Clay, he's Guyanese, half Guyanese. His father is, and that just kind of explains a lot. Anyways, if you guys aren't watching Love is Blind,
y'all talking about?
get into it
because you don't love.
There ain't no love.
Yeah.
Love don't exist over
You're
here.
right. Listen, Tristan's like, you what?
Look at me. I'm almost 40. I ain't never really been in love.
Why not, Tristan? You're such a nice looking guy.
I know.
Why is it you don't want to be in a committed, nice relationship, or are you
I'm not a
open to
person.
it?
I'm not a person that looks for love. One.
Okay.
I was always told not to look for love, so I really don't look for it.
So you're open to it. You are just kind of like, if it happens.
Tristan is avoidantly attached.
I honestly don't think love is gonna happen in Boston for me.
Okay. All right, because
Tristan
that's
has
Not
a
for me.
avoidant attachment style. That's what you've got, honey.
I too have that. I think I get a little attached. However, I'm an avoidant. I'm attached to the void. I don't know what I mean.
Avoidant attachment style. Adults with avoidant, dismissive, insecure attachment style are the opposite of those who are ambivalent or anxious, preoccupied. I'm anxiously attached.
Oh.
Instead of craving intimacy, they're so weary of closeness, they try to avoid emotional connection with others. They'd rather not rely on others or have others rely on them. But that's true about you because you said before, we've got it on tape, you were like, I don't want to do the work. And I don't want nobody to depend on me. Don't want nothing from me, and because I ain't giving you what I don't want to give you.
Hold on. Caller, you're live.
Enough of this foolery. Enough. Enough. Let me explain something to y'all. Tony, I wish you would go on Love is Blind. You deserve it.
I wish they would have a Love is Blind for old fat people because that would definitely be on there.
Jesus, old fat
The
people.
problem-
Terrible.
Fat people. Okay. I'm moving on to Trez. Trez, you are married to the streets. You are chasing the bag, so you don't have time for love.
I don't like the streets. I don't like the streets.
He like, I want to stay home by myself.
You're chasing the bag. You got to think about it. You want to be successful, so you think it's love. If you fall in love, it's going to slow you down. So you don't want you.
Right.
You think love is blind.
You know that. You know that part.
Schneider
That
says,
part.
I think that
Stop the
Eros,
foolery.
thank you, Boo. I think that Eros love is foolish. I think agape love is the only real way to show how you care for others.
It definitely is.
Polyamory. Me too. Agape love is the love of God.
Who has that though? Do they have that anymore? People don't do that anymore.
People don't love each other.
No, because people aren't loving each other based on the biblical meaning of what love is.
Mm-hmm.
People are loving each other off of what's hot and what's trending. Nobody
Agape love.
loves to love anymore. Everybody loves for business. Nobody loves to be like, I'm gonna go through hard times with you and we're gonna be okay. We're gonna have hard conversations, we're gonna have bad arguments, and we're gonna be okay. Everybody's just, when you get in an argument, you go on social media and find yourself
Hold
some.
on. Wait, quick lesson.
coddling.
Quick lesson. There are 4 types of love out here. There is Eros love. That's erotic, passionate love. We might as well get that one out of the way first. There's Philia, love of friends and equals. There is storge, love of parents for children. And then there's agape, love of mankind. Which one do you fall under, Tristan? Which one do you like the most, Tony? Agape?
Phila.
I'm definitely agape.
I'm a Phila love.
I like philia love too. I think that's where I'm at. I'm
Love
a philia.
of friends and equals. All I need is support. God damn it.
Yes.
All I need to know is that you a rider for me, and I like to be very clear. I was to your point, Tony. I like to be very clear when I enter a relationship because I don't want us to get into the relationship and you start changing and things ain't the same because that's not why we got into this relationship.
And good, and that's what you should do.
Say that.
And I've been in plenty of relationships. When I get into it, I say it very clear, very clear before, and then we get into it and everything changed. Nope.
And that happens a lot in people.
Nope.
There was a meme that was going on the other day about, when men say to women, you gotta pick better. And the meme kind of retorted in, you just don't know who that person is going to end up being. The person that you end up being prior to, let's just say with a baby, prior to a baby, while you're having that baby, and then after that baby can technically be 3 different people that are coming out in that time.
Yeah.
And I don't think people give people enough time to find out who they actually are before getting into a relationship or situation. Everybody's just so
that part too.
amped to like have a title and be in love and stuff, but you're not even really taking time to figure out who this person is as a person before people get into it. And I don't want to do that.
But
anymore.
that's exactly what I was saying. Like there's when you are in a relationship these days, right? Yeah. You get into an argument, you decide that you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and you can go on. I was having this conversation with my cousin last night. You can go on to social media, as we all do. Yeah. Everybody has some kind of access to social media, and you can find support for whatever your bullshit is on social media. Yep. That is the truth. So whether you're like, I want to give this a try, you're gonna find the algorithm in the 5G and the COVID vaccine have it set up. So you're gonna have all kinds of things that come into your algorithm and be like, yes, you should give it a try. And if you want to be like, F that N-word, there's a whole bunch of memes and all of that that's gonna come up to support that. Also, you can post a picture, thirst trap, and get all the attention that you're not getting at home from anybody else all the time.
Yeah.
Social media has the answer to whatever your needs are.
No, she's not saying that in a good way. It's just saying that social media gives you the illusion that you can have access.
So people aren't pushing for relationships anymore. You got to understand that a real relationship, you're in that relationship. We're not going to agree on everything. There is no person that you are going to love 100% of. That is the truth. And people in social media and society has you thinking that you have to like every single thing about this person in order to have a successful relationship. Not true. So I know that. And that's why for me, agape love is what I seek, what I'm after. Agape love encompasses the eros. It encompasses the other one that y'all are talking about. It's all of those things. But that's also love that's based in like the biblical meaning of love. Like love. God love, spiritual love.
I'm going to end up killing somebody. I'm going to stay out that one.
Nah, because you respect that person so much that you understand that you don't have to be with them.
Go back to the definition of agape love, which is most often crowned as the highest form of Christian love, is the kind of love and action that shows empathy, extends the desire for good of the beloved, wants the best, extends help or demonstrates good intentions, and is intended for everyone. Agape love is sacrificial. Yeah. Amen. Hello. Yeah. Everybody pray.
Yeah.
Pray.
Hello. How about you, Tristan? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling full of love.
Full of love? Full of love. So I have a dilemma, and I want to know if anybody else has it. In the last couple of days, I have grappled with, how do I say it? Gratitude versus grief. Or grief and gratitude at the same time. Have you guys ever experienced that? Like you are happy about something, but also grieving what it's not? And how do you kind of deal with that? I'll use this example. I think yesterday I was telling somebody, like, I've been talking about this dog. I've researched the dog. I know what dog I want. I know what color, size, all the things. And then somebody else comes and gives me a different kind of dog. Now, while I'm grateful for that dog, I am grieving the fact that it's not the dog that I want to. So it seems like it's ungrateful, but it's not that you're ungrateful. You are grateful. However, you just feel like it is not what you anticipated. How do you deal with that? How do you grapple with that duality of emotion?
That's tough.
Somebody, if anybody has ever been through it, you could call up or put it in the comment section. I don't know how to word it in real words. I did a TikTok about it today. But yeah, if you've ever experienced that, let me know how it is. Some people might look at you and be like, damn, you should be grateful for that. And at the other time, you're like, yeah, I am grateful. However, I'm unhappy.
I think that it's important. It's important to acknowledge both of those emotions in the situation, right? And then to deal with both of them. And which one do you deal with first? That's like, how do you know which came first, chicken or the egg? You don't know. But because you don't want to seem ungrateful. Yeah. However,
right? There's a however there that you can't escape because. Right. Okay. Yeah. I thank you for this dog. I really love it, but it's too big for my house. It shits everywhere. All the things are happening, and I did want it, and I'm giving it a good home, and I love it. But what do I? This is not what I asked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with that, Tristan?
Yeah, all the time. all the time. I told you I'm a December baby. You know,
oh yeah.
I'm a December baby all the time. Like, here, I got this for you. Oh. oh, this is not exactly what I wanted, but thanks.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, but I mean,
That's a good example.
Yeah,
That's actually a really great example.
You take it with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
man, and you just got to figure out, okay, how the person that the person that you got it from, how do you build on that relationship so that next time it's above and beyond.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So then you have to kind of like reevaluate your own thinking and your thought process.
Yeah.
And be like, how do I get across to this person that this is what I want?
Yep.
And communicate that the right way.
Yeah.
And then, but also, you have to realize your independence, and it's like, I'm grateful for this because I can get what I want on my own.
What else? Yeah, and what else I also figured out is that you almost have to, like, if it is what it is, you almost have to trick your brain into seeing how it does work for you. You know, like, okay, I've got a guard dog, I guess, versus a, like.
So how we gonna make this work? We gonna make this work.
We gonna make, what we gonna do to make this work?
And then sometimes you gotta realize it don't work, and you gotta send it back to where it came from.
Oh, that dog story still triggers, huh? That's not what I
Could
asked
have used a
for.
different example.
God damn it. Realistic versus idealistic. I hear you. Phoenix said, happy I left my abusive marriage, but grieved because I never wanted a marriage to end in divorce.
I hear that.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
Pastor Joy says, that's me when people buy clothes for me. Same. Why
would anybody buy clothes for him?
Because nobody, it ain't me. Because, boy, I tell you.
That's something I would never ever do.
Caller, you're live.
Hey, y'all. Hey. I have an example, and don't laugh at me because of the example. Someone bought me a car.
Uh-huh.
Knowing good and well.
You ain't got no license.
I don't have no license. and it's like them getting upset for me for not using it, knowing that I
don't have a license.
Can't use it. So now it's like, what do I do with this gift? Because I don't have a use for it, so I completely understand what you're saying. I thank you for motivating me and encouraging me to get on the road, but I can't. So I just wanted to share that.
That's a good one.
Very good.
That's a thank you. Thank you for validating this.
We love
it's
you.
It's true. Like, oh, wow.
You gotta get your license.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And Shanae, you do need to get your license.
57 years old with no license. Just have it. Just have it.
So that was my dilemma of the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys have more examples, definitely call us up 617-272-3387 and tell us about a time where you've experienced both gratitude and grief at the same exact time. At the same exact time. And depending on who you speak to, they might not understand either one. With that said, we're going to get into the show. We have a special guest today who's going to turn into our interview for today. We have the one and only Tayla on dry. Hey, Tayla. Stop acting like you don't know how to do radio. Put them red headphones on and get in front of that mic, girl.
You know what? I had a problem with the headphones ever since the beginning.
See, that's your problem.
It is.
That's your problem.
No, you want to know my grief and like my, what is it?
Your grief and gratitude.
Yes.
Your duality of the same things.
So I am a brat. Like I'm a real life brat. Not the other B word, but I'm a brat. Like if I don't get my way, I am hangry.
Yeah. That's me too. Like I received really great news. It was great news. Anybody heard it, be like, damn, that's great news. However, I cried my eyes out in grief for about 3 hours. I cussed everybody out. I stopped talking to everybody on the phone, and
hold on. You don't talk to people on the phone.
Exactly. So I be calling people just to vent, and then when I'm done venting, I be like, I gotta go. Bye. Sorry, Tony, and everybody else I called.
But that's also because you feel undervalued.
Yes.
So that's how you have to figure out how. Okay, if I feel, how do I get this person on the same? So you gotta rope in with that person. Yeah. You gotta rope in with that person. Y'all gotta feel like, listen, hey, I like you and all these things. So I've been in a relationship before, right? Mm-hmm. And
you did?
Hey,
Don't worry,
hey.
Tristan. She thinks I'm anti-love too.
Right. So, I was very clear. I was very clear with what I wanted. I like to be independent. I'm a family person. I'm a friendly person. And when I got into the relationship, they didn't like none of this.
I don't want to be with your family.
Oh, you got too much friends. Anybody I introduce them to.
Yeah.
Who's that? How you know them? Da da da. So it's like, listen. Do you like me or not? If you like me, then you would put up with this.
Absolutely.
If you.
So how are you in a how'd you get the relationship?
And I was very
status?
clear. I was the same person. Didn't change.
That's the question I have.
Yeah,
too.
I'm like, how is
did
it relationship?
How did you get to? They weren't acting like that before.
They
y'all?
were not changed.
Oh.
Completely changed. Completely switched up. And then when I got out the relationship, switched up again.
But
Got all the
there's
friends,
some
got
people
all the
that
things.
there's some people that you are in relationship with that you're just better, like y'all are
better
better friends.
friends. Yeah.
Like we're not
Yeah.
good together, but we're
Right.
great together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
That would hit a nerve, didn't it?
Jesus.
Triggered.
Wow.
But I need help. I really do need. I need help in the sense of like being able to manage my. So I have that's really what it is. I have
Yeah.
expectations.
Yes.
And
yes.
when you don't meet these expectations, I'm like, I would have showed up differently. Why you didn't show up like this?
This is what I'm saying. My friend. So I said
say
my
it.
friend posted a status and it said, "Unspoken expectations is premeditated disappointment." Mm-hmm. So when
me
you
write
Oh,
that
so I
down.
need to just be vocal about my expectations.
Yes.
Okay,
Because
I'm
in the
clear.
beginning-
I'm vocal.
they can't read your mind.
No.
You gotta specifically be like, I expect.
I feel like it have to be like stupefied though.
No,
Well,
you
you
gotta
gotta
say-
do.
Bullet points.
Yeah, but almost.
No, I'm
got-
talking about humans.
No,
like
you
it-
gotta be like one of my friends. Like she's on her journey of growth, and she's realized that she is often, not saying what she wants in the beginning. So she started this after listening to the Sprinkle Girl.
Yes, I love
Sprinkle Sprinkle.
You know, I know her in real life.
Do you?
Yeah, she been like that. So I used to model in Birmingham, Alabama when I was in college.
Yeah.
And her and I did some modeling gigs together. She been like that forever.
See,
that ain't new. That's
but-
not a
I like
person.
her.
Like, that's
And-
not fake. That's not Instagram.
And I think that's how you have to be when you come out with those expectations from the early. I like flowers and I want money in the flowers.
Yeah.
You should not show up here
Without both.
Without both or one in
both.
without both. Yes. Like that's what you should not do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you exactly what I want. Don't do it.
Yeah.
The boy the other day that went into my DMs, he was like, I don't understand why I'm attracted to a girl that acts like she don't need a man. And then proceeded to tell me about what I would do if I don't end up getting a man. Sir, you came in knowing who I am. You know I'm not out here begging for men. So don't come in my inbox telling me about what's gonna happen if I don't take him now.
Right.
I'm gonna be 40 and nobody's gonna want me.
Oh.
Just like everything about me. I travel. I want to travel. Why are you talking to me if you ain't got no passport?
With that said, let's get into the show.
I like your spectacles.
Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM. The all-new Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
All right. Today is February 22nd, 2024. It is approximately 9:40 a.m. It's going to be mostly sunny today. Sunny to partly cloudy, high in the 44 degrees. Winds in the south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight's going to drop down to 34. But, however, it's just been cold.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what the degrees say. It's been cold every day.
Yeah.
Like, freezing. This morning, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon users were hit by a massive cellular outage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was happened. Gary hit me up as soon as I think he believed that his phone came back on and was like, yo, here's an article. The phones have been down.
Who does he carry? Who's
He
his carrier?
carries, I think, with AT&T, and I think some AT&T people might still have no phone lines. A major cell phone outage affected users across the U.S. early on Thursday this morning, even stopping some police departments from being able to receive 911 calls.
Oh, no.
They don't got landlines at the 911 office. That's crazy. In 911, that would have never. It did happen a couple times. AT&T seemed to have experienced the largest number of issues, with nearly 32,000 people reported at around 4:30 a.m. I also want to know who the hell and why do you know if your phone works at 4:30 a.m.? What y'all be doing? I feel like if you're going to wake up before 6 o'clock, that you should be waking up to meditate or take a walk in silence.
Maybe they got to go to work, or maybe they got to pre-order their Dunkin' Donuts.
According to data from Down Detector, which tracks outages by collating status reports from sources including users submitted errors on its platform, more than 800 service outages were also reported on T-Mobile and Verizon, although a spokesperson for the latter made it put it down to users reporting problems trying to call people with other services. Other reported issues on smaller carriers included Boost Mobile, Consumer Cellular, and Straight Talk Wireless. People actually have Straight Talk Wireless.
You know who's not in there? Mint, the one that Ryan Reynolds owns. And that's only $15 a month.
And the one that Kendrick, the one that Kendrick owned too.
Kendrick Lamar got a.
Remember Kendrick got a little phone?
What's it called? Cricket Mobile.
A little
See,
anti-trap phone.
they didn't say nothing about Cricket Mobile, because that's exactly where I'm going next is Cricket. Because they got a lot of crickets here in Massachusetts. It's the green
And
ones.
then you're going to travel and you're going to have no service.
Exactly.
All I need is Wi-Fi. Just take out the service like cable, and I get a whole bunch of subscriptions to like WhatsApp.
Oh, wow.
So that was the news. If you guys were trying to figure out what happened to your phone, 5G towers all went down due to the vaccine, and that's why nobody could call out from 4:30 to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, see?
In Boston, Franklin Park neighbors file a suit to stop the women's soccer development at White Stadium. Boston, the Emerald Necklace Conservatory, and Boston neighbors who live near and enjoy those 1,000 acres of Franklin Park from the Back Bay through Brookline and Jamaica Plain to Franklin Park are taking on the city and the National Women's Soccer League. Their newly filed lawsuit claims the proposed development of the old damaged White Stadium is unconstitutional. Really?
Oh,
I don't think you
constitutional even.
Is there a video for this? Because I want to listen. Yes. Oh, it is. Let's go to the clip because I want to listen to this young man say the words so I could hear. Because I want to form an opinion, a strong one on it.
All right. Here's the clip.
I want to form a strong opinion. Hold on, everybody.
Okay.
McDonald's shows us it is a battle over White Stadium in Franklin Park. Today, more than a dozen residents filed a lawsuit to stop a pro soccer team from taking over the stadium. As WBZ's Julie McDonald shows us.
But it doesn't belong in our
Hold on,
park.
hold on,
White
hold on.
Stadium
Pull up,
should
pull
be
up.
Taking over the stadium. As WBZ's Julie McDonald shows us, they say this is a fight for their neighborhood.
The most important thing is that our public parks are truly public.
The Emerald Necklace Conservancy and Boston neighbors who live near and enjoy those 1,100 acres of parkland from the Back Bay through Brookline and Jamaica Plain to Franklin Park are taking on the city and the National Women's Soccer League. Their newly filed lawsuit claims the proposed redevelopment of old damaged White Stadium is unconstitutional.
I don't think you could find somebody out there that doesn't want to improve White Stadium. It needs work.
But the plaintiffs say paying for it through a public-private partnership with a professional women's soccer team is not the solution.
I'm a soccer fan. In fact, we're a soccer family. And I would love to have a women's soccer team in Boston, very much. But it doesn't belong in our park. White Stadium should be for our kids and for the community.
The city says that White Stadium would still host Boston Public School athletics, camps, festivals, Special Olympics, and graduations. But for 20 games during the season, these 10,000 seats would be for soccer fans and the traffic associated with matches.
The park is already a very busy park. It's a very important park. There's the zoo, there's the golf course, there's all of the community and cultural festivals that we all rely on. It's part of what makes Boston Boston.
The soccer team would begin playing in 2026. Plaintiffs worry about the timeline and the plan's impact on wildlife, green space, and neighbors.
I do think Franklin Park has a bright future, but we have to be really careful about how we treat it.
Ain't nobody lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's lying. One of the most talked about things, or the most brought up things, is the amount of traffic that's going to be backed up. That's a one street.
Yeah.
That's one street, and that street is tragic when it comes to trying to get through back to Washington. What is it? Seaver Street.
Yep.
It
all
doesn't,
day.
especially during school times, or if there's anything going there. Back in the day when they used to have an actual kiddies carnival there, even the poor outcome of that, there used to be cars parked everywhere. You couldn't park nowhere. It's busy. There's people with dogs. There's babies. There's a playground. There's so many things there that I don't think anybody really kind of thought about when they had this, let's do a women's soccer field here.
So for me, I feel like the people who make the decisions don't actually, like Ayanna Pressley, power in proximity. And so the people making the decisions just like, oh, there's a whole stadium that we can redo. They don't live here. They don't take our streets. They don't travel in this area. So they have no clue. And it takes community to come in and say, this does not make sense for us.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It doesn't. And I'm glad. It just be a little bit pissing me off that it always be the white people that be standing up and then we join in after.
Well, that's what Larry said here. He said that's a clear part of JP. They will defend it. The Cedar Street side ain't saying nothing.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, Larry, because that's true. Like, the Seaver side is probably going to be the side that gets affected the most, because that traffic that's going to accumulate from the Jamaica Plain side into the Seaver Street side is going to go all the way to Blue Hill Ave, all the way to Eggleston.
That's already a mess, because that's the end of that bus lane middle thing right there, crossing over to Walnut Ave. So or is that Walnut Ave as well? Also, if they're not
speak on it, I'm trying to find a clip of that.
If they're not going to build this stadium or whatever, they need to refurbish White Stadium.
Yeah, they do.
And that's what I'm saying.
Definitely needs to happen.
They don't, that's what I'm saying. If the group is opposed to it, they're opposed for their games, but at the end of the day, they are coming with a plan. Nobody else is presenting a plan.
Who's paying for it?
It's a the soccer team and a grant, I believe, is paying for it. So it's not, it's still gonna come out of our check somehow. But let's hear what the mayor had to say about, when was this? I know that they did hold their timeline before this lawsuit. The timeline that they had was pretty aggressive, and the neighborhood also came through and was like, nah, that timeline is way too aggressive. Y'all got to slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
So they've been having some controversy after controversy with that. Go ahead.
It's about the entire Emerald Necklace. It's also about preserving public land for the public throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
This would allow us to more than triple the number of hours that it can be used, and BPS and our community would still be 90% of those hours. The soccer team is really just a small portion of how it would actually be used.
That always sounds good and all, but it doesn't seem realistic. Like, if I own something and I'm only using it for a little bit, I don't want the rest of y'all using it 90% of the time, and then y'all just mess up my damn thing that I just paid for. Now the grass is messed up, because I still don't understand why White Stadium is not used more often as it is. Like, even with, it still got seatable seats. It still has a lot of things. You can't go on the grass, that everybody's heard. They're very stressed out about that. I just don't think that I don't think that makes any sense, that, everything will go as is with this new entity that owns it.
I wouldn't mind it if somebody would come with an actual proposal. If the Emerald Necklace people, if y'all got something, but if y'all got nothing and y'all able to take something and they're able to put some parking over there and work with you guys and like together, then by all means, because White Stadium I've never seen. I'm 37. I ain't never seen White Stadium open officially.
Just to be open, right? Yeah.
Never.
Right.
So if we can finally get it open, then by all means, and y'all could work together, let's get it open.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Yes and no, because those that have the goal to make the rules. And going back to like 90% of the time, it'll probably be open to community, but who has the like who then?
Has the right.
I don't know. But I trust the mayor and what she says. I honestly do believe that she will make it 90% for the community and the other 10% for those 20
You can't
games.
make it 90% for the community when you don't own it. It's not the city of Boston owning it.
Emerald necklace.
No, what I
Emerald
hear
Necklace
you.
that owns it.
However, what people also do need to realize is that the mayor can say whatever she wants. Before it gets to the mayor, it has to go through a whole posse of folks. So by the time you even get to the mayor,
And those people gonna
you
make
don't wanna,
sure that it's for the community.
They don't.
Are they though? Because the
No.
Reginald Lewis Center is not for our community. We all know
I'm
that.
talking about the people that are you guys are talking about the people that are gonna come out and gonna do all the things. All the people. But if not, like you said, like we always say over here, like we always say, let's keep it a buck. Niggas ain't about shit, so you know.
Oh, it's
family shit.
It's
Oh,
mad
you
early.
bucking.
It's mad early for this.
No, but
I'm
it's
sorry.
facts.
Hold on.
It's facts. It's facts. Black people, we don't go to nothing. It's gonna be all those people on that side, on the JP side, and on those other sides that's gonna speak for us, and we ain't gonna do shit. So what are we complaining for? What y'all complaining for?
That's what Janet said. She said, "Why we want it to be fixed, but we don't want it. They want the money to fix it and renovate, but they don't want the team who has the money to give to fix it and renovate." You're right, Janet. I see what you said. She said, "I've been to White Stadium all the time when I was a youth for camp. That place has fallen in such despair. It's the River Street Bridge of stadiums. Patching can't fix it no more."
Touche.
Yeah. You got that.
We'll continue to follow the how it's going because although I believe that there's a lot of great intention, I don't think that it was actual like he said, there needs to be a real plan. And there also needs to be before we can even think about what the mayor can do. There needs to be some overhaul of the processes that happen within City Hall to get it to that level where she would be interested in, pursuing it. So we'll follow this. Tris, tell him. Because the meeting was last Thursday and no one was on Zoom attending. Can we find out who actually owns the property? So we'll do some research about it.
Hold on. They said that it was an event on Thursday?
There was a Zoom.
They're always advertising these events. Always. They're always telling people when the meetings are. We put them out.
But clearly, I'm not on that list.
I follow Reclaim Roxbury with our good friend. And he
Amar.
We can get those people in here, actually, the White Stadium people.
Let's get them. We're gonna do that. The Gardner Pilot Academy administrators removed. They didn't respond to a student bullying and conduct. I mean, that's something else that's very crazy on these schools these days is the amount of children that come from interesting families that go into these schools and start bullying people's kids and stuff like that. Interesting. A community meeting is planned for March 1st after two Boston Public School administrators were removed from the Gardner Pilot Academy for not adequately responding to allegations of sexual misconduct and bullying among students. In a letter last Thursday to the school committee, Skipper said that two administrators, which included the principal and the assistant principal, will not return to school or the Boston Public School District following an internal investigation into misconduct.
I thought it was in Gardner. Where is that?
Gardner, Mass.
The investigation revealed unreported, unaddressed, and egregious code of conduct violations involving bullying, student-to-student bias-based misconduct, persistent bullying based on race and gender, racial or homophobic slurs, and student-to-student sexual misconduct, groping, choking, and use of sexually explicit and derogatory language.
I got to wait until you get a little bit older for
what grade is this? I don't know, but choking in the sexual choking in school? Then we bring back the belts. School administrators at GPA were aware of these incidents but did not respond to the vast majority in a manner consistent with school district policy and in some case state laws. Furthermore, Skipper said while the investigation was underway, it was reported that a now former male GPA employee who had been sending inappropriate social media and text messages to middle school female students. Those inappropriate messages were reported by the students to the designated assistant principal, who failed to take appropriate action or to timely notify the acting principal. Once the acting principal learned of the allegations multiple days later, she immediately followed protocol, Skipper said. DCF was properly notified, messages returned turned over to the Boston police, and there is now an active criminal investigation.
Okay, so it's called the Gardner School, but it's in Alston, LaWanda just told us. Because I was wondering why Skipper had anything to do with it, because I know she's Boston public school person. I thought it was Gardner, Mass, but this is a Gardner.
The highest paid Boston. You guys saw that?
Bro.
Yo. I'm in the wrong. I need to switch careers real quick.
You better go administrate.
Highest paid Boston. Yes, that came out the other day, and we didn't touch on that, but we'll put that in here. Yo, the police and the fire people is making
Yo.
They're all over like $300,000
a year.
All of them.
I don't got no firefighter.com, so I can go find one of these with a pension and a retirement plan.
Hold on, let me tell you the hack. Take your son to the fire department. Be like, oh, he just wants to see the fire trucks. There you go. I got you.
He just want to see the
your
fire
holes.
trucks.
But what I want to know is, because a lot of the firefighters that I know ain't fighting no fires. They at home collecting checks. And I'm just saying, I mean, they still my friends, so no offense, but I'm just saying, y'all ain't working, so that's crazy. Something got to happen. All right.
Boy, I tell you.
I think the highest paid police officer is the one from South Bay that be just chilling at Stop and Shop.
Oh,
because it's like yearly, he just be there collecting checks.
Be there. And I know who you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the little West Indian one that be at everything. When do you work?
That's working.
Details. Details pay more than their hourly, their day-to-day salary.
Remember the whole fire department called out the other day so they could collect overtime.
That's true. And then they showed up that afternoon to their second shift.
That's crazy. Suppose I had a fire in the morning and not the afternoon.
Child,
you'd be calling their insurance company.
Boy, I tell you. Cambridge man arrested in connection with breaking and entering into homes in a Boston neighborhood. According to Boston police officers responded to 15 Charles Street. Reported breaking and entering into homes. Did they find him? They didn't find him. I don't know.
They said he was arrested.
53 and 103 Charles Street.
Where's that at? Where's Charles Street?
According to
right
Boston.
Where?
Dorchester, Fields Corner.
Oh, people still do home robberies?
That's the corner. That's the house with all the bricks on it.
Oh.
I didn't know that people were still out robbing. Yeah. I don't know what. I wouldn't rob no houses in Boston.
Why? They the ones.
Yeah, but I just feel like I would want to go out to like Waverly.
He's from Cambridge. So he was like, oh, I'm going to the city.
I'm going to Dorchester. Family provides look inside a Roxbury shelter for migrants and homeless. Whatever. AT&T, 20 landlords, property companies sued for discrimination housing. Let's see who they was. I heard there's a big landlord somewhere in JP who he's got articles written about how terrible he is. A nonprofit housing watchdog group is suing 20 Boston area property companies and real estate brokers for allegedly discriminating against low-income tenants. The lawsuit brought by the Lawyers for Civil Rights and Hadley, Farah, and Anderson on behalf of a group of housing rights initiative alleged landlords and brokers refused to rent to tenants with government-subsidized housing vouchers. What's that, Section 8?
Yeah, or it could be Section 8 or the Mass State Voucher Program. MR.
Is that a RAF?
Mass, right? No, so it's like a Section 8, but it's not ongoing. It's not. It's like
you got it for
it's for this property during this time to help. It's more so like Gap. It's like Gap insurance.
Okay, yeah,
but it's like Gap housing.
Yeah. Okay, okay. That's why Tayla's here today to talk to us about real estate. That's gonna come on later, but she's here today because she's part of us. The suit filed in Suffolk Superior Court includes screenshots of alleged conversations in which landlords and property brokers appear to tell prospective tenants they do not accept the vouchers, which is crazy to me because wouldn't I want? Tell me about this, Tayla. Wouldn't I want to have a Section 8 client customer?
All right, you have to take it all the way back, right? To the 1960s when we had an entire president talking about the welfare queen. Mm-hmm. There was a welfare queen. She had a Cadillac. She had mink. She had diamonds, but she was also getting food stamps.
That's bullshit.
But she was a white woman.
Oh.
People don't even know. Like, the welfare queen in real life was a white woman.
Oh.
And so there's this ideology that people with Section 8 don't have jobs. And all they do is stay home and wreck your house.
Yeah.
There are people with market rent that don't have jobs, that stay home and wreck your house. And when we just saw COVID, how many people did not pay their rent? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so
I shouldn't have been paying my rent because I was paying rent.
You could have definitely. There was Raph was out here giving away $70,000 to. I have one landlord that I may or may not know of that received over $70,000 for like 4 different tenants that didn't pay.
Really?
Yes, during the COVID when people wasn't paying rent, and have each one of the tenants apply. They applied $10,000 here, $9,000 here, $12,000 here.
I could have been using my stimulus checks for crab legs and steaks, and I was paying rent.
Raph told me somebody else filed for me in my name.
Yo,
so I couldn't get it. and
it's your mama.
It probably was. Because you need your social security number, you need pay stubs, you need a lease. It might have been your mama, boo.
It wasn't. I was living with my mama. It wasn't.
She was like, I want it too.
I was trying to get
Y'all
her
got the
money.
same last name?
Yeah, but I was trying to get her the money.
Yeah.
Lord.
And then they was like, yeah, we don't, if you know that, your mama your landlord? Oh, no, we don't do that.
That's what happened to me too.
Hold on, but if you guys don't have the same last name.
But
we do. We're a good black family.
At one point
but it's Johnson. You could, like, we from the same slave owner.
That's what I said. I should have used her maiden name. Oh, but my daddy's on the lease too. So, but that's the problem. That's the problem. When your mother try to give you your daddy's last name, you got to give him a different last name.
Lord, don't listen.
No,
Do not.
Not the legitimate child complaining about being legitimate. That's
I want to be Armstrong. That's who I want to be.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know, but I know I get a rap.
It ain't your daddy.
It's not my daddy.
But as far as like, I tell. When I used to do rentals, I don't do rentals anymore. But when I used to do rentals, I used to, when people contact me and say, do you take Section 8? I'm like, if anybody tell you differently, you need to contact someone. Because the answer to that question is never no. If you want to keep your license, the answer to that question is never no.
Really?
Because I feel like getting that check, I don't know how Section 8, I know that they pay a little bit and then you pay a little bit. I know that I would at least be guaranteed what my Section 8 got me. But I think this happens, and we'll get into this conversation, whatever, about predatory landlords and about we were talking about, me and Tony was talking about the other day how, like, in order to move into an apartment right now, you need at least $13,000 for first, last, and security
and broker's fee
and most of the time people don't have $13,000.
That's a down payment
for a rent and that for a rental. So, and then housing is kind of expensive too. So that $13,000. I mean, there's a lot of programs that I heard from Thumbprint Realty that you guys could get involved with. We're gonna get into that. But let's leave that alone for right now. So these people are discriminating against Section 8 vouchers, and I don't believe that they should, and that's stupid.
So there's so much that could be talked about this, but first and foremost, taxes. So if you're getting cash, if I'm getting cash from Tristan and I'm not claiming that cash, I don't have to tell the IRS. But if the government is giving me money, right? And so you have a Section 8 voucher, I'm taking your Section 8 voucher, which is government money. I have to tell the government that they gave me money. Or they're going to know that they gave me money. Whereas I don't have to report Tristan if he's giving me a money order. So, like, that's one aspect. Second aspect is a lot of landlords redid their apartments, but didn't do it in the way in which it should have been done. And so now they're like, I have to do this inspection, and I know that this inspection isn't going to go well for me. Third, you have that stigma of the welfare queen, of the person who's going to come in, they got
black girl with all these kids.
Exactly. And then you see the once in a while horror stories of, like, the hoarder and the animals pissing everywhere. And so it's a compound of different reasons. But if you're into, like, a real landlord that's out here trying to get the bread and only the bread, absolutely, let's go.
That's how I feel. I only want Section 8 clients when I tenants when I do get a home. Just give me whatever they giving you, give it to me first. Moving on, this is weird. A Massachusetts man arrested with a rocket launcher and crack cocaine in his car.
Yes.
Oh, wow. In his car.
I saw this yesterday.
In his car?
In his car. What what the hell you doing with a rocket launcher? A man was arrested in
just a rocket
Sutton
launcher.
after police say he had a rocket launcher and a crack cocaine in his car. On Wednesday, Sutton Police Department Alex Cini was doing surveillance on a suspicious vehicle in the parking lot of a Red Roof Inn. The driver was identified as Harvey Johnson, my uncle, of Spencer. When Cini approached the car and began talking to the driver, he saw that was believed to be drug paraphernalia. Police said the detective then searched the car. He allegedly found an M190 U.S. Army rocket launcher and some crack cocaine.
Where do you get one of those?
Needless to say, the rocket launcher and drugs were seized by the detective. Mr. Johnson was charged with both of them. Because let me ask Google.
It's not mine.
Where do I buy a rocket launcher?
But Sutton police
And
turned
what
it
is a
over
rocket
to
launcher?
ATF agents.
Target.
Launches
You get it from
rocket
Target.
launcher.
Experience.
You can get one from Target, by the way.
You can?
Yeah.
Rocket
Nuh-uh.
In-store availability for a rocket launcher. It says Target, Barnes & Noble, and Walgreens. Too bad they shut down all of our Walgreens because we would never get to buy another rocket launcher.
I don't know if you looked up the right thing.
I'm like, is that a toy? That sounds like a toy.
Like,
No, but seriously, where the hell do you get a rocket launcher?
Right.
And why? Why did you go in and say, hey, anybody got any rocket launchers here?
Who gives it to you? Who sells those?
What
Like
does it
who?
look like?
Not like who sells those, but like. Why would you have that? I know in the movies they always have it.
wanna
You
know
know,
where
the
he
bad
was going
boy
to
and
go
all of that.
to.
They be
That's
having
what I
rocket
want to
launchers.
know. Where was he going to?
Where was
Like,
he
I can't
going?
even find a rocket
Okay.
launcher on Google.
He was going to watch the launch the launch.
Oh, what if he was going to put the crack in the rocket
And then what?
and then launch it?
Where?
Crack launcher. Cracket launcher.
Everybody's so creative.
Everybody. And then last but not least, Governor Healy pulls Masstown state grant funding after it rejects to house migrants.
Oh, damn.
Somebody was telling me about this yesterday. Governor Maura Healey on Wednesday told the town of Milton that it's not in compliance with the MBTA communities law and that it will begin losing out on state grant funding as a result. That's what they said that all of the other Boston places have agreed to put up some apartments, and Milton was like, nah, we don't want it.
Yeah.
They were like, she was like, well, if you don't want it, we're going to take back this grant.
Do we know
funding.
how much the grant is?
Let's see. In a letter sent to Milton Town Administrator Nicholas Milano, Housing and Livable Community Secretary Ed confirmed that Milton will no longer be eligible for a recent $140,000 grant for seawall and access improvements.
$140,000?
There's like 4 residents that could pay for that out of their savings in their house. Not even the savings in the bank.
Right, like that. Oh.
So the law is clear. Compliance with the MBTA communities law is mandatory. At this time, Milton is the only rapid transit community in Massachusetts that is not in compliance. If we do not all come together to build more housing, we will not be able to overcome an affordability crisis. We need every community to do their part. Who is in there? Who is in the apartments that you guys want to keep purchasing?
Well, how many more buildings, apartment buildings, and building do you want to happen?
This is exactly right.
What are you talking about?
Why do we need to build them there? I mean, I would rather them build them a little bit in Milton with all of that empty space than keep on putting it in every
nook and cranny.
I'm surprised that they didn't have start building in this alleyway right here.
It might be because them men been in here cleaning out every day, so that they about to build
it's gonna be
tiny house village or something.
6 low-income housing. It's not deep affordable. It's regular affordable. Healy's office also said that Milton will not be eligible to receive Mass Works and Housing Works grants and will be at a competitive disadvantage for many other state grants.
You might as well just take it out because Milton isn't going to.
Milton cares. I don't think that Milton cares.
Milton doesn't.
It does. So going back to like how much is it?
Yeah.
Because until it actually hurts their pocket, they don't care.
Yeah.
The MBTA law has rolled out to make it easier to build much needed multifamily housing in 177 communities that have some form of T service either in their community or adjacent. The thing is about that T service too, like I get it in other towns, but they're making Boston be a whole ass T city.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's in Hyde Park. What's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the difference? I don't know.
And they better not put them in the Hyde Park until they build
but
that damn
that's
bridge.
fine. If you want to take away their money, take away their money. They're not.
What is going on with that bridge? Because I don't see nobody there working.
Hyde Park Bridge?
I've never seen anyone working on the Hyde Park
But
Bridge
we-
at no hour of the night ever.
The
Never.
funny thing is that we continuously get, Janet, you can interject on this. We continue to get emails about all the work that they are doing. And I just feel like since I come here every day, sometimes multiple times a day, that I don't see nobody working.
I don't see nobody
I don't
there.
see the progress.
Yep.
I don't
Never.
even see one of them machines off of this day. Them shit machines ain't even moved from the spot that they was originally in 2023.
But you know what? I do think, so you know how we have like the parking between April and November? So there's work that's done only between the April and November mark. And so we may be seeing some more traction come April because during the like December to March are quote unquote the winter months. And that's when some like I know they're not supposed to do certain digging. They're not supposed to do certain work within the roads. And so that may be the reason, but not just the bridge that people drive over, but the bridge down here that people walk over, that old green bridge.
Oh,
What is-
right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right,
yes, where the park is. And so I would like to see all the. How about we talk about the bridge? The red line goes over. I can see the station in my head.
The red line.
The red.
Closing my eyes, see in your head.
Ashmont. Fields Corner. Oh my God, what's the name? Shawmut. So that bridge
all those
over
on the
there.
back. Yeah.
So that bridge is 40 years older than when it expired. And hold on, and that was based on a show I did 7 years ago. So it's like a 50-year-old bridge after expiration.
That's terrible. That's actually just terrible to hear. And I'm embarrassed. I'm trying to find the last email that I received from Hyde Park about the bridge.
Janet says, I've read every email. I've seen maybe 2 things that they've said they've done actually get
Thank
done.
you, Janet, because that's like when I read the emails, they're like, yeah, we've undergone this and we've done this and we've done this. What's next to be done is this, and this. And every day I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think you're doing
Not
that.
a damn. Not a damn.
I don't believe in that.
Nope. The same trash that has been on that bridge since 2023 is still on that bridge. Nobody's even swept it. Like
Okay,
nothing.
so it said it is anticipated that the 75% design level will be reached in January 2024. So hopefully they reached that last month. But that's just the design.
They ain't even reached for it.
That's just the design. That's not them building out. I mean, we got a design. I can make a design right now for them. Like, fix it.
Yeah.
I also don't feel like it needs to be that much design. We just want the same bridge, just that won't fall apart. You don't got to get fancy with it. You don't got to add extra whatever. Put them 2 red bars at the top. Just fix it.
Yeah.
Fix the friggin' bridge.
Yeah,
It's not hard. It's a bridge. They did the big dig in 5 years. Oh, it was like 20 years.
No, it was like 30 years.
29 years.
50 years of the big dig. But they finished it, you know? And that's what y'all got to think about, being finished. With that said, people, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue to talk to Tayla Andre and get into some housing news. Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. Hold on.
All right. You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the Morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
What is this, Doctor?
This is
Well, Spark of New England, Spark FM. Bringing the heat back to the airwaves. Turn us up.
All right, let's take a look.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. Tax. Hello, I'm Marissa Jarrett Winokur. Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. 1 in every 4 Americans is infected with HPV. For many people, the virus hides inside them, and they never develop symptoms. But for others, HPV links directly to cancer. My cancer almost ended my career. It almost ended me. The good news is, there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. The HPV vaccine is recommended for children 11 to 12 years old, and a catch-up vaccine may be an option for teens and young adults. Talk to your doctor. You don't want HPV hiding inside of you. Go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more. Together, we can stop cancer before it starts.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at sparkfmonline.com. Turn us up. Spark FM.
It's a patchin' and a choppin' and a chatchin' and a chatchin' and a patchin' and a tappin' 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 and a day. And I'm a jimmin' and a dimmin' and a nay. Here we go. Now holla if you hear me. Oh, come and feel me.
What did she say?
Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the Morning. We are tuned in today, and we are sitting down with our good family.
She's
Tayla
our sister.
Andre. She's our sister. Tayla Andre. There's a lot of accolades, so let me get them right. She is a music aficionado. She is award-winning real estate agent. She is an inventor. She is a speaker. She is an author. She is a host. She is a mother. She is a homeowner. She is a friend, and she is a sister.
Yes, she is.
I like that.
Right.
Yes.
I clearly am not a sister because I'm not invited to breakfast, brunch, and dinner. Okay, so I just want to. Yes.
It be mad impromptu. See what happened?
I'm an impromptu type of person. I
It
show
be
up.
mad impromptu. I be like, yo.
I like food.
Be on the phone talking and be like, let's go to a restaurant. Okay, bye.
Yeah, just add me to the group chat though. If I'm really a sister, and you love
What are you
me,
doing?
feed me.
Nothing. Let's go eat. Okay.
Always.
20 minutes? All right. I'm on my way.
But you had the pizza muffins.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
I had the mushroom one. I like mushrooms. It like literally I had the grease dripping down my chin and I left it there. It was
That
mad.
mushroom one is
Yo.
It is good. If you guys don't know what we're talking about. Yeah, it's in right in Dedham. It's called Boston Pizza Cupcake.
Yo.
Pizza cupcake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. Have you haven't gone there yet, brother?
I'm gonna change. Do you want to change the reservation home?
No.
No. Not in the Mac. Not in the Mac, hit boy. No. We're not going to make pizza big. I want to be wined and dined.
Me too.
No, but yes, that's good. And I did see, I'm glad that made its rounds because them things was great. And if you guys haven't gone there, they're not paying us for advertising yet. But y'all should go down there and get you a little pizza.
Yo, what's their
bagel.
phone number? Let's call them real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, can you help? Do you
Hey, we
want
just
some
mentioned your
advertising?
name.
We're
Give us
not
some money.
We don't need in kind.
Yes.
We could buy our own. Just give us the money.
Just give us a little
No, but
cash.
if you so I'm a crust type of person. Like I like a certain type of crust.
Yes.
And if you like a certain type of crust,
deep dishes?
that's
Yeah.
then you'll love it.
Yeah.
But if you're not a crust person, you may not like
You're not like it.
it may not be for you.
All right, let's get into this right now. So Tayla, tell us first of all, give us an actual whatchamacallit of who you are and what you do.
Okay. Who are you? Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy?
Who is you?
Tayla Andre. I am basically everything. I am a mother. I'm a real estate agent. I'm an author. I'm an inventor. I did invent, and I have an actual patent for my invention.
That's dope.
Wow.
But most importantly, I am a advocate. And so I advocate for what is right, what is just, and what I think is common sense, but clearly common sense isn't common.
It's not common at all.
Yeah.
You wrote a book, Finally Home, and if you have been a proponent of this radio station, you have heard that one advertisement for the last 4 years.
I'm about to change it.
We don't have a Finally Home book in our
You got
library.
here. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. We need a Finally Home book in our library.
How do we have everything except for
The
Finally
book
Home?
is Finally Home, a step-by-step guide for people preparing for first home ownership. And in the spirit of housing crisis and affordable housing, and Boston trying to fit everything in here, what is the market actually looking like? Is it a good time to buy a house or not?
So the reason why I think right now is the best time to buy a house, and I think, let me say this with clarity. If you have the credit, if you have the money, if it makes sense for you, that is the best time for you to buy a house.
Okay.
Don't let people peer pressure you, social media steer you. Buy a house when it makes sense for your pocket.
Thank you.
But I feel like people be waiting like, nah, I heard it. Social media, we're talking about social media very much today. Social media makes you feel the housing market needs to be here and here before you should pull the trigger on buying a house. Is there affordable actual housing out there for people to buy?
Okay. Yes, and so Mahoney Properties is a really good email list to get on. Okay. They have affordable rentals and they have affordable home buying options. And so we have something called 40B. 40B is, let's say, for instance, I want to build in this alleyway. But in order for me to build in this alleyway, I have to build 1 or 2 affordables, depending on how many other properties that I'm building.
And we understand that affordable is not the same as deep affordable.
Yes.
So there's affordable and then there's another
undercover. It's not. Okay. The underlying problem, and I swear, from the time that I've stepped back into the city of Boston, the area median income, the AMI, is the problem. And the reason why the area median income is the problem is because we are the city of Boston. But they are looking at like a Suffolk County-ish.
Oh, so they're taken from every Boston.
It's the state. No, it's on the federal side. So this has nothing to do with the mayor, has nothing to do with the governor. This is federal. We include Newton. We include Brookline. So when you take a look at, 50% of Bostonians make less than $30,000 a year, but 50% of Newtonians are making $350,000 a year. So when you're looking at the area median income and saying 100% or 80% of the AMI, you're taking into account people who make $350,000 a year.
That's
not
crazy.
fair.
So how does that? Is that
Girl,
legislator? That
this is literally you can ask anybody who is really in housing. I'm not talking about just a real estate agent. Anyone in housing. Don't nobody know what the real answer. I'm so. What's my girl's name? Crystal McCornagy. All the way from like Crystal. It's just like T.
And that's the thing is that we do hear about these, their buzzwords or their, their pacifying situations. Like we're making 30% affordable housing and the AMI, but nobody really gets into how these things are. What are they? How they're calculated. And that's what I don't think they're doing that. It doesn't make sense to include the affluent parts of Boston and then average that down to the poorest parts of Boston because we'll never get a real number. So I don't understand how that's going to change and how it could change.
So this is my assumption, okay? I could be 100% wrong or I could be 75% correct. My assumption is that if we are to alter the AMI, we also need to alter like district lines. And if we alter district lines, we are then altering the political landscape. And so that is my assumption. Again, I could be wrong, but I think that is the reason why the AMI has. I've been literally having this conversation for 15 years.
I was thinking about that
the
too,
AMI, 15 years.
Redlining
What are
and all
we
of that
doing?
stuff. Yeah.
From the mayor to the governor to all of our federally voted for individuals, and nobody can give me the answer that makes sense.
So how do we get who?
Girl, I have literally spoken to everybody. Y'all know who I interview.
Yeah.
I have literally spoken to everybody.
And nobody knows.
And see, I think that's what the problem is that we read all these stories and we hear about Milton not giving up no space for housing, and we're like, but who's supposed to afford these housings that everybody wants to make?
Right.
Because it's my theory that a lot of these buildings that are being rectified because they need to, we need more housing, I feel like they're vacant. I feel there's just nobody living in there, and I feel like if they are, there's probably like six families living in there, and the rest of them are sitting there waiting to be rented, and nobody can afford them.
Okay,
So I'm not gonna do it.
So let's talk about the corporate side of it.
Okay.
The corporate side of real estate. So let's say, for instance, I own a 100-unit building. And out of this 100 units, I have a 78% vacancy. That's a loss.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I claim that loss on my taxes, and it offsets whatever it is I may or may not owe.
Oh, so I don't need them to be filled. I just need to have it.
Are you
kidding me?
I just need to be the owner. And so there's multiple layers, and you can't tell nobody what to do with their property. Except for the city's trying to tell people what to do with their property.
That's crazy. I also was going to say, with these people, I don't even know if this is in the same subject real, but like with these people who they do build these buildings, and they have a certain amount of units that are supposed to be set aside for affordable housing, right?
Yes.
And then we also hear that those affordable housing units are the units that are like in the elevator shaft. They've got a pole in the middle of it.
So
they're on the first floor.
No,
with
that's
the flooding.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, again, this 100-unit building, and out of this 100-unit building, I have floors 4 through 6 designated for the low income. I'm like, how is that not the same as like a redlining or just? It doesn't. It's legal though.
Yeah.
It's legal,
Yeah.
and that's how. And there's so many buildings, and not just that. Let's take it back to when Menino and Walsh were the mayor, because I think an interview here at Spark, Mayor Wu said that when she was a first-term elected counselor, she voted on something with the BRA having autonomy, and she said she wanted to correct that mistake. Like, that was the first time a politician ever said that I engaged in fuckery and I want to do right by it. And so to this day, I have so much respect for her because of that. But when you take a look at, we will build affordable housing, but we will do it off-site.
Yes, sorry.
And so they would have, let's say, for instance, it's downtown. They got the ability to build this 100-unit downtown. 20% of those units have to be affordable, but we're going to do them off-site. So we're going to we're going to go ahead and take those 20 units and put them in Dorchester. We're going to put them 20 units and do it in Roxbury's the new downtown. We're going to put them in Mattapan. And so I was like, how does that constitute, like...
And how does that make sense?
Right.
Like, why does that make sense? I want to live downtown in affordable housing. I don't want to live in Mattapan.
So 7 years ago, I had a friend that lived in a high-rise on the seaport. $3,000 a month for a one-bedroom. And this was affordable.
That person got money.
No, that person does not live there anymore. You get your taxes, you think you got something, and then you forget that was a temporary check.
My friend is currently in the Seaport in a studio, and she pays $1,900 a month. It's a studio. It's one room.
One room.
And then a bathroom.
And you can probably see the kitchen from your immediate room.
It's all one room.
Oh. She lived here, and then the bathroom's over there.
The kitchen's there. Her bed is there.
They got nice amenities. They got very nice amenities.
That's what they do have. They be having a little exercising gym. They got a pool and they got a patio. You know?
You got to pay for parking, $500 a month for parking.
That's true. I'll park on the street. Thank you.
You're gonna be driving around for 6 hours looking for parking. You gotta take an Uber to get home from your parking space.
Exactly. Yeah.
That sucks.
It is.
So
it does suck.
For the people that are out there that are trying to buy homes that are already here and can't afford,
they're not gonna like what I have to say.
Say it.
I have to say two things. So the first thing I have to say is there's nothing wrong with deed restrictors. There's nothing wrong with 40Bs.
What does that mean?
40Bs are the ones that out in Newton. There's 6 houses that were built. 2 of them have to be affordable, and out of them being affordable, they are deed restricted. And so you have limitations. You don't get to get
you can't get income on it.
No. Like you can't sell it for what your neighbor. You can't sell it for $700,000 because you bought it for $350, and so you have to sell it like 4 years later. You sell it for $400 instead of being able to sell it for all of the money. But you bought it affordably, and so you're trying to pass the baton to somebody else. Right. The reason why I am for an affordable is because your rent never changes. It's your mortgage. It's going to be what your mortgage is.
I like that.
If you get all of these grants that the city has, that the state has, you can go ahead and buy down points. So your interest rate is not at 7%, but it's a 5.9.
Yeah.
You can also get your help with closing costs, down payment assistance, but you now have like a good $2,600 that you know that you're paying for your mortgage.
Yeah.
That's $2,600 for a house with a garage. Because a lot of the 40, a lot of the 40Bs outside of the city have like garages, granite countertop, like
pool.
Not a pool.
Relax.
But you have, and now your kid's not in Mecco because you're actually part of that school district.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that is you can now stack your coins. That doesn't mean now you have $2,600 for your mortgage.
Yeah.
Now you're rich, you can splurge it. No, now you can stack your coins. Now you can go ahead and buy something else and have an investment property elsewhere.
So here is a quick commercial break with Mattapan's Olmsted Green Affordable Home Ownership Lottery is happening right now. They're starting at $275,000. You get 2 and 3 bedroom units, bike storage, parking included, Wi-Fi, fitness center, mail package lockers, clubhouse, walking trails, barbecue patio, wood plank flooring, granite kitchen tops.
Granite.
Granite, girl. And unit washer and dry, private patio and balcony. This deadline is for February 29th. You can apply today. Do you see it there, young blood?
That's over there in Hummingbird Lane.
Where's that? Is that Soma or is that Noma?
I've never heard of such a place.
Is that South Mattapan or North Mattapan? Because that depends on where I'm buying it. But right now, people, the lottery is $275,000. You get your own home. Would this be considered a 4B?
Oh,
yeah.
Olmsted.
No, this is a city deed restricted. 40Bs are more so outside of the city where we see them in like affluent communities.
Someone said they don't want to live outside the city. How do I get one here?
And then Homestead Green. And then there's
Homestead
other
Green
like
is over there by Morton Village, over there on Morton Street and Harvard Street. The new place that they.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay. Because when those houses first came out, they were supposed to be affordable, and those houses were starting at $450,000, which I don't think was affordable.
That's not
no. That is the other side. So it's 2 parts.
Okay.
There's the affordable, and then there was the market. So there's some houses over there that were selling for $750,000.
Yeah.
And that $750,000 is supposed to be the same quality as the ones that were affordable for like $198,000 when they were being sold.
Yeah. This is all very interesting to me.
Something else that I wanted to say too, when you're moving outside of the city, so we know like there was an article in the paper today about 3-family houses or something like that. So when you're living in the city of Boston, you do have 3-family houses, and I think that a lot of people are interested in getting one of those because then they can rent it out and kind of figure that they pay for their mortgage by charging the rent. When you're going to these other places that are outside of the city, you don't see that as much.
Okay,
right?
This is the other part that you're not gonna like for me to say. Danielle and Tony are sisters. Triz is your godbrother. Between the three of y'all, how much income do you make? That's not a real question. That's hypothetical. Put that on paper. What does that
$1 billion.
look like?
$1 million.
And so when you take a look, so recently there was a family that purchased X amount of acres because they all came together. They pooled the money and they bought a farm. They bought land in order to create a farm. We do not understand the Kwanzaa principles and engage in the Kwanzaa principles in order to be collectively responsible together.
And we talk about this, in general in the community. So let's do a scenario. Me, her, him. We want to buy a house. We go to the bank and say do one person apply, or is it all three of us?
Y'all.
Okay.
And so, listen, could you get could all three of y'all put your money together and get a 3-family and everybody live on a different floor, and then you have a lower mortgage because everybody's contributing, and then you go to the city and say, hey, I want to create an ADU in the basement, and now you have a 4th unit that you rent out to another random person.
And then we can now all use the equity from this house, purchase another house, and rent out this whole big one.
And do it all over again and again and again. But wait, let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further.
Right.
So the three of y'all go to the bank, you get that pre-approval with all 3 incomes, and then you guys stay in one unit together and thug it out and rent the other.
Living at the address.
Yes,
that's how
you do it.
The Asian people.
Exactly. You just when they say like, oh, people aren't willing to like thug it out for 3 years and be an entrepreneur, but you willing to thug it out for 30 years and be an employee. Like we're not willing to thug it out for 3 years to like deal with our sisters, our cousins. Like we know our family are crazy. Yeah. Like just deal with it. Let's have family meetings. I have to give a huge shout out to Alex Thumbprint is having the financial family reunion where we're having this conversation about what does that so the financial family reunion is coming together, sitting down and say like, what does it look like for us to collectively have a family unit financially, a trust. If grandma got a house, how do we make sure we protect that trust? Because if she has to go into the home, that home is going to take that house as collateral.
Yes.
And so how do we protect the family? How do we put together our finances and make a budget and put some money? I have a friend. I have so much respect for this individual. They have a family meeting once a month, every month. Everybody comes together and puts X amount of dollars in that account. That money goes to kids' college. That money goes to fixing up individual family homes. That money, like it's a susu, but it's not a susu. You don't get the money. What we get is making sure our family has what they need. We never need to go outside.
That's generational
asking
wealth.
for help.
Quick commercial break. The Financial Family Reunion is going down on February 28th via Zoom at 6 p.m. You can sign up on Eventbrite. We will post that on our social medias. This is with Whitney Miller, Michelle Brathwaite. We know her here. Alex E. Edwards and his wife Joanna Edwards, and most likely Tayla Andre will be there as well. But this is going down February 28th. That is Wednesday.
And this is the first.
And this is the first one.
Yeah, this is the first. This is the inaugural, and it's going to be a continuous conversation.
I think this is the first time it's been ever plain to me, because I've thought about it. Like, why can't we all come together? I think that people are afraid, but I think that a good way to do it is with your family, who you know and who you can figure these things out with. A lot of times when we talk about collective community, it's usually on Facebook, and you got all these people talking about, I'm down. I'm like, I don't know you.
But there's nothing wrong with that. So contracts exist for a reason.
Okay.
And so under this contract, this is what we're putting in place. This is how we are going to operate. This is how we're going to work. And so could you do it with a bunch of strangers on Facebook?
Perhaps,
absolutely. Shout out to Britt Johnson, because Britt Johnson was able to raise $40,000 in her first year of like collecting funds of like different parents and different community members. They raised $40,000 in order to use that money to then purchase a property so they could all be collectively ownership of this house.
Yeah.
And so your return might not be $100,000 a year, but you own a house in this collective that you're now getting a return on.
And you have equity.
So even if you going back to us three buying a house,
Yes.
One question that from the audience, Lawanda, she said, "What if all three y'all got bad credit?"
But fixing your credit is not difficult.
Just gonna pay your bill.
No. So the number one thing is paying on time. No, let me take that back.
Paying
The
a little bit
number one
before.
thing is communication. You have to communicate to people that you cannot pay them. And 9 times out of 10, especially even before COVID, if you could not make a payment, you could call them and say, hey, I got laid off from my job. There's like employment protection that you could, it's like a little $9 a month or $5 a month, and it covers your credit card in case, like in lieu of you not being able to pay.
Yeah,
Really?
right, definitely, yeah.
And
yeah.
so,
I know that.
so hold on, let me give you a
Up to
couple hacks.
$10,000 on most credit cards.
Let me give you a couple hacks. So the first hack is you should throw away, cut up your debit card. You should never ever use a debit card for anything on earth.
Okay,
Unless
why
you
not?
are taking money out of the bank.
Okay.
The only reason why you should be using your debit card to take money out of the bank is because nothing is secured. It is free game. If you purchase a laptop, the laptop is breaks. It's gone. If you have your debit card all over the place, people take the money out of the bank, you don't get that money back.
Good.
You have
Yeah.
to fight with the bank to, like, that was not me, that was fraud, and 9 times out of 10, you may not get that money back. With a credit card, everything you buy is protected. If people can't just take money out of your card.
You got to be careful when you're telling you got to be careful now.
No, so depending on the card you have, okay, you just bought this laptop.
Yes.
This laptop is stolen out of your car, but you purchased it with your American Express, your Visa, your MasterCard. You call them and you say, hey, this, you have to look through, there's a reason why you get 28 pages of a document.
First of all, that's a wasting of trees.
Okay,
but
yes.
I don't print them out because I don't believe in wasting trees.
I go
But ahead.
paperless all
And so
They list out everything.
it's stolen, right? So check your credit card, or you could just call and ask, what are my privileges? That's stolen. You call MasterCard and you say, hey, listen, you see that transaction that I made 2 weeks ago? That laptop's stolen. They replace it. So I pay my phone bill. So I did not purchase this phone with my credit card, but I pay my phone bill with this credit card. If this phone goes missing, I pay $25 for my deductible, and American Express gives me up to $900 to get a new phone.
Oh, you dropping gems.
Yeah. Okay. So
you came here to talk real sense to us this morning, Tayla.
So aside from that, if you you can call your credit card company and say, can you reduce my interest rate? If you've been making payments. Now, if you ain't paid them in 6 months, don't call asking
Can I
for
get a little blind? No.
But what you can do is if you can, for not every credit card, but most credit cards, every 18 months, they will remove 3 interest payments.
Oh.
So if you have high balances and you're paying $250 a month for interest, 3 of those is $700. I said $350, right?
How you do that? Who you gonna call?
You can just call.
What you got to say to them?
You just pour a little honey, pour a little sugar. Hey, how you doing? And sometimes they do, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have to call somebody else. Sometimes you have to say, I'm really questioning whether or not I want to stay here. What can you do for me? And you can do that with your phone service. I'm questioning. You can ask them to lower your interest rate. I've been here for 10 years. You guys can
to increase your credit card limit.
Yes, you can call them and ask them to increase your limit and make sure that they're not pulling your credit. Pay your bill on time. That's the number one reason why people's things decline. And if you're not paying it on time, or if you can't pay it on time, at least communicate with them that you can't pay it and ask them to move it or delay it. Like, give me 2 months. And if you communicate with them, it's like, I tell my kids like this because we talk about finance in real life at the same time. So if you're out with your friends and things didn't work the way that you thought it was going to work, and you call me and say, "Ma, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to make curfew." Okay, cool.
I'm not worried. My mama always taught us that too. Yeah.
But if you don't call me and you come home at 3 a.m. and I don't know why, you ain't going nowhere for the next 3 months. And that's the same reason how credit cards operate. Like
I witnessed this yesterday because I haven't paid one of my credit card bills because I'm in financial turmoil, and I didn't communicate. And when I saw the fees on it, the fees was like $148. And the minimum payment was like $178. I was like, how the hell I'm paying the same fee for the minimum payment? That's crazy. Yeah. So I paid that down because we can't do that anymore. But that I think that's important that you say, and I appreciate you for being so transparent and giving us some hacks. Because that first about the family and how you do it, somebody else said, Grace Richardson, hello Grace, welcome. She says if 3 people get a house together, only one person apply for the loan as a first-time home buyer, and they can add others' income as part of the households. So it goes under one. So that means, so how do I get
It's
one
like
too?
a co-signer. Okay. But at the same time, sometimes you can't just co-sign. Okay. Sometimes, depending on the income, you might need all 3 on the loan. But FHA first-time home buyer isn't only for first-time home buyers. If your situation changes, let's say, for instance, you had an FHA and I own a house. I have a home with an FHA, but me and my husband are getting a divorce. Yeah. My situation has drastically changed. I can reapply. I had a baby. Yeah. My situation has changed. I can reapply. I'm moving, and the reason why I'm moving is because I need to be closer to my parents in order to take it. Like, your situation changes. Now, the caveat to that is you do have to refinance out of your current FHA, get into a conventional mortgage, and so you can reuse that FHA. Shout out to my veterans. You could use your veteran status 1,000,000 times and then use it one more time. Really? You do not. VAs can use their veteran status as many times as they want.
It's too late for me to be a veteran.
The other day, my child told me that he wanted to join the army, and I said no. But he might have to go so he could be a veteran, so I can get more housing.
And you can get that good insurance that they be talking about that you can get grandfathered into. What's called, the Army insurance.
A lot of my families are veterans, and they are taken care of, but you have to be as vigilant as if you had a Section 8 voucher. You have to
look at this that Grace is talking about.
So Grace is saying that the One Boston mortgage, and I always wanted to know how these things. The One
Boston
mortgage, they give you up to $100,000 for a down payment on a home.
$70,000.
$70,000. How does that work? Like I just gotta apply for it.
That's it. You just have to apply. No. The hard part about that, you have to find a house. Okay. You got to find the house. Yeah. And so One Boston is very similar to NACA in the sense that is the truth.
They work from the rooter to the tutor over at NACA.
And is that the same as MAHA?
No.
Okay.
So MAHA is in the
MAHA
family.
Is not One Boston, is not NACA. These are all, go to the bodega, they have different chips. Yeah. You go to another bodega, they have different chips. Okay. These are mortgage products, and each product has a different set of criterias of the do's, the don'ts, the haves, the have-nots.
Tayla, for those that want to move out the city, what advice do you have for them? Do you think that they should? Do you think for those that want to find housing outside the city, and
if you are not bound by the city of Boston because of your job, take your ass outside. You thinking, Providence is lit. Okay.
That's what I heard, but I heard that Providence is getting a little bit expensive too because people are getting hit.
Once upon a time, you could get a 3-family in Providence for $350,000. That same 3-family is now $650,000.
One of my cousins just closed on a house yesterday in Providence.
Really?
Yeah, and they have a $17,500 grant for down payment and closing costs.
Really?
Yes. And so the thing with One Boston is you have to get the mortgage attached to the One Boston. And not everybody, it's all on the website. You can go to the website and find the lender that works with that particular product, because you can't just go to any lender and use that product.
So how do you get a pre-approval?
Yeah.
So you can come to my event. You can leap into home ownership.
Yes.
And so we are having a Zoom event on the 29th, Leap into Home Ownership, that goes through all of this, because I would be here for another 2 hours going through the process of what that looks like. But
we don't mind that. We like you.
I like you too.
You could come back anytime.
And so I would say, for starters, what you absolutely need to have are 2 years worth of tax returns, 2 years worth of your W-2s, 3 months of your bank statements, and all credit card, banking, anything, any financial institution included but not limited to your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, like all of your finances, 3 months of those in statements. To have at least $3,000. So it would be nice if you had $15,000, but people are closing on $400,000 houses with only $2,000.
Shut your mouth.
Yo, can I tell you? Let me tell you a secret. Let me tell you a secret.
Buy a house?
When I
Tell us a secret. We're listening.
When I bought my house, I went to the table with $0. I got every grant that the city would afford me. I came, and usually you have to come to the table with a check. You have to come to the table with your closing fees. I closed with I brought nothing to the, like, what do you bring to the table? Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
I bring nothing to the table.
Sprinkle.
Not even the damn table.
Yes. Actually, can you bring it to me? Like,
can I borrow something for my down payment?
That's how I closed. But I closed using every single product that the city had, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'd like you to speak on that real quick. So I was in one of the Thumbprint seminars last year, and I was like kind of blown away by how many resources the city did have.
Yes.
And that's also what I wanted you to speak on too, because there's so many people that don't understand that there's so many
you can
reasons.
come to the event, leap into home ownership.
Leap into home ownership on February 29th at what time?
It's on Zoom.
Okay.
You follow the social medias. I'll go ahead and share it with Spark so you guys can go ahead to the Eventbrite.
And Tayla's social media is Tayla Andre. Just plain, right?
Yes, just everywhere is Tayla Andre.
And only I call her Tyler.
Yes, please.
Don't get cute out there.
And so yes, Tristan, there are so many programs, there are so many opportunities that you can tap into. If you don't know, it's like I don't know what I don't know, and you don't know until you actually go through the process. And so, like, really quick plug. So the book is also a course, is also an audio book, is also in Spanish. Is meant to like prepare you, like, what does preparation look like to purchase a house? And so you could take every home buyer's course. You can take Maha. You can take NACA. You can do all of these first-time home buyers course, but it gives you, like, this is what it is to buy a house. And one of the things that I love is I had somebody who took a NACA course and a Maha course, both totaling over 12 hours together, right? We spent 90 minutes together, and she was like, Tayla, I feel like I understand this process so much more in this 90 minutes than I do in the 12 hours that I took in these other courses. And it's because I simplified it. Some of my clients are not fully literate. Like, they
talk on it.
Are not fully literate. They had absolutely zero credit at all, and needed guidance and help. Salud.
Thank you.
And so there's a lot that should be taught in schools.
Yes.
And it's not. And so the book really stemmed from me having to educate 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 40-year-olds on what it looks like to have credit, to have savings, to have a budget. And then, so the book is really less about home ownership and more about the financial literacy that we did not receive.
Get your life together.
But respectfully and helpfully and without
educational.
And with dignity, without shame. And my favorite part of the book course audiobook in both English and Spanish is the fact that the first chapter goes on history.
Okay.
We talk about redlining. We talk about why Mount Cass is named Mount Cass, because that once upon a time that was going to be a highway.
Oh.
And don't do that.
Get
You
into
didn't
the
know
book.
that.
No.
Who was Milnea Cass was gonna be a highway?
Mount Cass was supposed to be 93. That was all that entire highway.
Was that going to Eggleston too?
It was supposed to. It was supposed to go through Roxbury.
Through Eggleston, yeah, that's all the same thing. Yep.
Oh, down there.
That entire highway was supposed to come right through Roxbury. Mount Cass and her Goonies were the ones that stopped that. So, yeah.
Let me go read this book.
If you
See what the hell I don't know. This is crazy.
No, so before quick commercial, if people are listening to you right now and they want to know more, besides purchasing the book on where's it found?
It's on my website, TaylaAndre.com. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Audiobook. So Audible. You can get it on Audible.
Audiobook, Audible.
Yeah.
Wherever you find books.
Yeah, but if you go to the website, you can find everything that you need.
And then they can also hit you up via social media at Tayla Andre or on your website, which is also TaylaAndre.com. It's very easy to find her to answer these questions because, again, you go to these home ownership things, you're hearing this a lot of general information, you get some gems dropped, but I do believe that people should seek out a professional to kind of walk them through the process, and that's what you do, right? And what's your email address?
Tayla Andre. Well, go to the website.
Fill out the contact form.
And
you don't got to even know all that. Okay,
yes.
I love this.
Yes.
I love this.
Y'all ain't about to bombard my email address.
Taylor, I heard you. Help me.
But I do feel like one of the things that we don't do enough here in the city is have financial conversations.
Yeah.
And so on April 6th, I am 1/3. Myself, Alex E. Edwards, and Denisha McDonald are hosting the New England Wealth Summit.
Okay.
And Spark will be in the building. Woo-hoo! So the New England Wealth Summit is going to highlight all of the questions that you have, not only about finances, about home ownership, but about business, how to scale your business. There will be resources in the building that are actually like, not resources like, oh, here's a pamphlet, but actual tangible things that you can go ahead and implement to change your life, to scale your business, and to improve all areas that you're looking to improve.
And people, when you're getting these things, actually do them.
it.
Do them. Don't just retain this information. I always think about when Clubhouse was there. I listened to so many audios on all of these businesses, and I was involved, and I was interested, and I had to get off because I was like, I can't keep listening to this. I actually have to start going through it. And like you said, if you're not going through the process, you're not even going to know the questions that you have to ask. So go through the process. Try it. Go get pre-approved. God damn it. And let me borrow a house.
When we buying a house.
Where we go? We got to talk after this of how we gonna buy a house. First of all, I got to get a job. That's number one, because I ain't got none of them statements.
Okay, pause.
Oh,
you getting a job. For my entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs think that they can't purchase a house. They can.
Oh, tell me how.
It's called your profit and loss statement. That's
I got
something
that.
yes, if you have a profit and loss statement and you can prove that you have a profit, you don't need a W-2.
Oh.
So there you can.
I'm about to buy a
I'm
house.
gonna go start a business. I got so many things to do today. I got to buy a house. I got to start a business. I got to do all
Because
of
we
it.
got to slide up out of here. Taylor, when are you going to come?
Whenever you have me. You know I love y'all.
Don't say whenever you have me, because I was sitting at this goddamn table every day. Every day talking about home ownership and different things that we can got. But yeah, obviously, Tayla is a very big part of the family here. She is never very far away from Spark FM, even though she doesn't have a show currently. But people do hit her up. Go to her website, TaylaAndre.com. Get into that contact me form. Sign up. Even if it's just a consultation where you can ask her some questions. But do all the things. Go to a home ownership class. You got Naka. You got Maha. You got One Boston. You got... shout out to Grace Richardson. She has been really kind of
Thank you,
resourceful
Grace.
in the comment section. This will be up for the duration of the show, so maybe you guys could go back and watch it, and you can also see the rerun of it. But there's a lot more to talk about, and this is not going to be the last time. Now that we know that Tayla be not busy in the morning.
Listen, I think we covered like a good 2% of all there is to discuss.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one more thing. Grace says that Welcome Home Boston Phase 1, 2, and 3, the city is building 150 new homes for sale. What's that? We'll get into that.
Do you want to keep me here for another 30 minutes?
Bobby Steals is up next. We got to do next
If Bobby
time.
wasn't here, we would, but
We'll do what we do with a lot of other very influential and pivotal people is that we'll set up a more consistent schedule for you to come and stop in with us and talk to us because you keep it real. And we don't like the bullshit here. So thank you, Tayla, so much. And I do wish that we had more. I mean, you took a whole hour of this goddamn show.
I learned something.
I learned. I'm going to the class on the 28th, the 29th, and to the other one. I'm going
and
to
tell
all
her to
of
get her
them.
ass back in here on her show.
Exactly.
So that you need to do a real estate show.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk after this.
Yes.
However, Bobby Steals is up next, and he is going to get into some good music, depending on his mood. Bobby be taking us around the world, okay?
Yeah.
The other day, we was in here listening. Me and Tristan held back for a little bit, like, oh, Bobby's taking us to a different place today. I like it. So the Bobby Steals show is up next from 11 to 1 a.m. here on 1 p.m. here on Spark FM Online. Keep it locked right here. Taylor, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next month, which is in 2 weeks. Talk to you guys soon. Spark FM Online, Saucy and Friends in the morning.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Let's start with the big question.
The all-new Spark FM.
JP Morgan Chase is